Chapter 25 Author Note. So someone said they thought Sirius was too much of an overprotective father figure, so this is an explanation of Sirius and his childhood. Chapter 25 Sirius sat in his room working on a charms essay when Regulus ran in and locked the door. "Reg, what's wrong?" Sirius was worried and went to where his little brother hid in the corner of the room. "Mother, she's mad. Andromeda, she ruined one of Mother's favourite rugs and she blamed it on me. Mother used the... Regulus couldn't even say the word, but Sirius knew what his mother had used. Their mother favoured the torture curse as a form of punishment on her sons. "Stay here. I will talk to her." Regulus grabbed his brother. "Don't. She'll hurt you too." Regulus, at the age of 10, had seen what no child should and been treated like no child should. His time with James proved that parents don't use the torture curse on their children because they couldn't tie a perfect tie at age 7. "I will handle Reggie. I can't let her hurt you. You're my baby brother." Sirius went to confront his mother, and she made sure her eldest son wouldn't talk to her like that ever again. Sirius held a sobbing Regulus as he fought off the invisible monsters in his dreams. Sirius was 12, Regulus was 11. None of this should have happened. Andromeda, their cousin, attacked Regulus as soon as he entered the Slytherin common room. Ever since, Reg slept in Sirius's room and woke up with awful nightmares and flashbacks. Regulus never looked at girls, and only looked at boys. He was happy to be with Sirius, James and Remus. He didn't trust Peter. "I can't do this anymore, Siri," Regulus cried against his brother. Sirius was the strong one, holding his brother, being the protector of him. It was then that Sirius promised that he would protect his brother. He would protect anyone in his family, especially his mates, from this treatment. Regulus was given chocolate that Sirius stole from Remus, and the brothers fell asleep together, cuddled up together like they used to when they were kids. Sirius couldn't see himself as a kid, not since his father had placed Regulus in his arms and told him he was a big brother. It was his job to protect his baby brother. In third year, Sirius and Regulus would sit together and talk about their days. It changed when a letter from their mother, a howler, came. Sirius and Regulus's relationship changed. Orion Black had died, and the only one to protect Reg was Sirius. Their father used to help, but now it was just the 13-year-old boy. Sirius was there to fight the demons for his baby brother. He was the only one. In fourth year, Sirius came out as gay, and Walburga had nearly killed him. Regulus was with Snape. They were on a potions retreat for school, and Sirius only had one thing on his mind: protect Regulus. Sirius knew his brother was gay, and so Sirius wanted to see if their mother would kill her child for being into boys. The answer: yes, she would. "Get out! Get out of my house, you worthless faggot!" Sirius apparated to the Potters, and when Euphemia Potter saw him, she cried and held the boy close. James had sent letters to Severus and Regulus, as well as his dominant mate Lucius. Narcissa came over and healed her cousin to the best of her abilities, and Bellatrix showed up ready to hex someone. Fifth year was a bad year. Sirius met a man by the name of Lyle Lupin, his best friend's father. Remus came out, and Lyle did not like it. Sirius used his years of experience and helped Remus. That year, the Marauders saw what Sirius's childhood was like. Sirius was able to shoot spells, keep a shield up, and protect Remus with his own body like it was second nature. What 15-year-old can do all that without even batting an eye? Sixth year was the year Sirius met Tom, and he was finally happy. Walburga met the up-and-coming rising Dark Lord. She offered up her youngest son and was met with her oldest. Sirius was the love of this man, and she didn't get it. If her favourite son couldn't get the Dark Lord, why should her first and failed child be his lover? Seventh year, the the year Sirius couldn't get to Regulus because of the Order of the Phoenix meeting. Dumbledore wouldn't let Sirius read the owl, and it was one from his brother. He had failed, and Sirius spent the whole night crying with Tom. While Bergia Black had expected Sirius to die, and for Regulus to be seated on the Dark Lord's lap, not Sirius to still be there. Sirius was in charge of her now. Sirius held little Harry Snape Malfoy Potter and cried at the sweet little boy who would one day be his and Tom's mate. "Little one, you are so loved," Sirius whispered against the soft hair of the baby. Sirius promised to protect the little boy. No harm of any kind would come to Harry. But alas, he would fail him, like he had failed Regulus. When he saw Harry as a 13-year-old about to be attacked by a werewolf and Dementors, he knew he had failed his little boy. He had failed just like he had failed Regulus. Seeing his mate in his house beaten to a pulp with cat ears and tail, he vowed never to leave his mate's side again. No one would hurt Harry, and now he wouldn't fail. He would make sure he didn't fail. If he failed, he would die. Chapter 26. It was warm for February, but that still didn't stop Sirius from putting warming charms on Harry's clothes. "Hey, Harry, do you want to sit with us?" Percy led Harry to where the others were. Percy held a hand over his unborn child, and Arthur kissed the bump and then him. "Harry, how do you feel?" Harry was nervous. The task was to get someone important to you. "Harry, we got you some gillyweed. Dumbledore expects you to use it." Neville handed Harry the plant, and Fleur went to fuss over Harry and Victor about being warm enough. It was well known that Fleur was a motherly person, and they were now the targets of her mothering. "We will be fine." Victor wrapped an arm around the girl. "All we need to do is save our loves and then cuddle with them for 3 days." Victor said something in French, which made Fleur blush wildly. Dumbledore most likely kidnapped Ginny or Ron for Harry to save, but Hermione was also missing, so any one of them could be a possibility. "I love you so much, my little pup." Sirius kissed Harry's hand and went with the other teachers. Fleur, Victor, Harry and Cedric lined up and went into the water at the same time, diving towards the Merfolk village. It was cold, like stuck out in a blizzard with no coats. At least the warming charms made it a bit better. The water made it sort of hard to see, but Harry was led by Victor and Fleur to the village. There, chained to the bottom of the lake, was Fleur's little sister, Hermione, Cho, and Ginny Weasley. Victor realized that Hermione was for him to save, and shuddered. The shark-headed boy looked sick to his stomach. Cedric hadn't found them yet, and so with quick work they got their person and went to the surface. Fleur went up first, then Victor, then Harry. All of them were helped up and wrapped in towels. Ginny kissed Harry, and Sirius and Tom were not happy. "You do love me. Oh, I knew you did, Harry." Ginny was smiling and kissing Harry, not knowing that a Dark Lord and Grim were very unhappy with her. "Oh, how romantic! And Victor, you saved our dear Hermione too." Molly was standing behind Dumbledore and looked like she was going to burst with happiness. "I don't know what game you are playing, but I have no connection with this girl." Victor was upset, and so was Charlie. He was nearly in tears. "Oh, my dear boy, you are in love with Miss Granger. You wouldn't have been chosen as her savior if you were destined to be together." The senile old man responded, smiling, and only got a "Are you stupid" look from everyone. The Bulgarian seeker was openly gay and in love with Charlie Weasley. Hell, he took the boy to the Yule Ball. "Headmaster, why did I save Ginny? I am gay. I don't even look at girls that way," Harry asked and dodged another kiss from the red-headed girl. "You are not gay, Harry. Molly was glowering at Harry when Arthur came to the rescue. Someone wanted to make sure you were safe. A big black dog that Harry knew was his mate came up beside him and nudged Ginny out of the way. Snuffles, I am perfectly fine. Harry was giggling as Sirius licked all over his face and growled when Ginny came too close. Harry, my boy, come to my office. We have some things to discuss. Dumbledore assumed the boy would comply, but was shocked when Fleur stopped him. Headmaster, Harry will be coming with my family tonight as a celebration of the tournament, Fleur said, and Victor was invited as well. The champions excluded Cedric from the dinner, which the Hufflepuff noticed. Well, another time then. Dumbledore led the champions to the castle, where Pomfrey immediately set to fixing any damage done to the young witches and wizards. Harry, why are you leaving me? Ginny shouted like a petulant child. I am going to get ready for my dinner with the Delacours, Harry said, and Fleur wrapped a blanket around Harry, making sure that he was warmer. What dinner? Cedric asked, and Cho was also curious. It is a dinner for the champions and their dates, Gabrielle said before Bill and Fleur both put extra warming charms on her. She was too small to be underwater for most of the night. When do we leave? Hermione and Ginny chorused. You are not going. The dates are the ones they took to the Yule Ball, Fleur said. Her normal warm voice was full of venom. Harry loves me. Of course I am invited. Aren't I, Harry? Ginny was being a bitch, and Harry didn't have the energy for it. Harry, we have permission for your guests. Fred and George came in with Snuffles, and Harry ran and hugged his dog father. Snuffles! Harry was getting kisses from the dog, and it was forcing his best laugh out of him. It was music to the ears of those who loved the boy. Severus walked in and smiled when he saw his son being happy. Potter, you are needed in the headmaster's office. Sirius growled, but Severus wasn't done. As are you, Snuffles. The big black dog went with Harry, and the twins followed, as did Fleur, Bill, Victor, and Charlie. Now, the headmaster only needed these two, but I have these. Severus held up some invisibility enhancers that the Marauders had made in school. Sirius recognized them and smiled. It had taken months to get those right, and they were used for spying on teachers. Wear them around your neck, and the old man won't see you. Severus helped with Draco's and the twins. Lemon drops. Severus and the rest cringed at how predictable the password was. Ah, Severus, my boy, thank you for bringing Harry and his dog. You may leave now. Albus smiled his grandfatherly smile and waited for the potion master to leave. Potter, do you wish for me to stay? Severus wanted to stay, to protect his son, but he would leave if Harry asked. You can stay, Professor. Only if you want to, though. Harry was looking at his dad and wished for him to stay. He needed his dad. I will stay, Potter. Don't need you getting lost on your way to the dorms again. Severus sat down in the chair next to Harry. Now this is unnecessary, Severus. I am sure you have some grading to do. Dumbledore needed Severus to leave so he could use the spells on Harry. Oh well, the compulsion potions would have to work enough. Here is some tea to warm you up, Harry, my dear boy. Harry wanted to gag at how the headmaster was trying to control him. He could smell the potions and see them. Since his dad was the potions master, he knew what it smelled like. I am not up to drinking anything, sir. Harry placed a hand on his stomach and made a I'm going to be sick face. Yes, well, this has some potions in it to help you. Dumbledore smiled as Harry took the cup, and Sirius frowned at the headmaster. You and Miss Weasley will be given some private quarters, Harry. Now, before you say anything, it is for the best that two newly mated kids stay out of public dorms. Harry's face lost all its colour. Sir, I am not mated to Ginny Weasley. Harry was starting to panic, and Sirius in dog form could only do so much, and Severus couldn't blow his cover. Harry, my boy, I know it can be daunting to be a creature and suddenly have your mate faced with danger right after saving them, but it's for the greater good. Dumbledore was laying it on pretty thick, and the invisible people were waiting to pounce on the headmaster. Professor Dumbledore, I am gay. I don't love Ginny in that way. Harry was keeping a tight grip on Sirius's fur as the headmaster tried to control his fury. Severus, my boy, could you go check if Poppy needs more potions for our guests? Albus needed Severus gone, and now. Harry will not be needing those quarters, and he is not in the main dorms. I placed him in special dorms made for creatures. Severus was close to killing the headmaster for trying to manipulate his son. My dear boy, Harry needs to be in the special rooms I have prepared for him. Ginny and Harry will need privacy for their mating, and no one wants to mate in a room full of other students. Albus was trying, but his mask was slowly slipping. Potter, do you want to live in the new rooms or stay in your dorm? Can I stay in my dorm? It is safe. Severus almost cried when his son flinched away at the tone of his voice. Very well, Potter. Albus, Potter is staying where he is. Severus took Harry and led him and the others out to his own rooms. He is never touching you ever again, Sirius growled and kissed Harry like his life depended on it. Lucius held a now crying Snape in his arms as the meeting was replayed to Lucius via memories. We are never leaving you alone ever, Draco said and climbed into his brother's lap. Severus and Lucius made the boys sit with them on the couch. The small family stayed there for a while Lucius and Severus' creatures calmed down. No one is hurting you while I live, Lucius said as the green-eyed boy fell asleep in his father's arms.